Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Powley's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight we're going to be looking at a fragrance from the house of Acqua di Parma. This is part of their Blue Mediterranean series, and this one is known as Bergamotto di Calabria. And this is an EDT eau de toilette concentration. This came out in 2010, and this is classified as a woody aromatic. So Acqua di Parma as a house is a major contradiction for me. What is this contradiction? They have many excellent smelling scent profiles, but the performance on many of these fragrances is terrible. So this fragrance is no exception. This has a great smell, very poor performance. So I'm going to take this out of the container here, and I would say out of all the houses I've experienced, there is no house that has a greater discrepancy between the quality of the scent profile, which is usually excellent in Acqua di Parma, and the performance of these fragrances. And it's understandable that a lot of these fragrances are light, aquatic, blue fragrances that don't necessarily have the same longevity, but theirs is extraordinarily poor in many cases. So I'm going to give this a spray in the back of my wrist, and their fragrances are not cheap where I am in Canada. They're very expensive. So initially, you get a very beautiful, soft, but still somewhat zesty citrus. It's a little bit tart, but it's very natural. As it starts to dry down, you get a bit of like a burning, sweet, fizzy note to it. And this would definitely come from the ginger vibe associated with this fragrance. I would say the other citrus elements still remain, the bergamot and the more tart citrus. Later on, this fragrance becomes, I would say, a little bit smoky, a little bit dusty, maybe even a little bit musky. The citrus still remains, but it's woodier, and there's a definite, I wouldn't say an artificial sweetness, but maybe, yes, a slight vanilla note to it. So it's a very satisfying scent profile, but the brevity of its transitions is everything has a very quick transition, and the fragrance simply, you seem to spray it, you smell it a few times, and it disappears. At the end, it's just an extremely faint skin scent, which is a disappointment because for the summertime and for a heat-breaking type of fragrance, I think would be excellent if it had more performance. As advertised, the top notes are bergamot and citron. The mid notes are ginger, cedar, and various flower notes. And the base notes are vetiver, musk, and benzoin. Performance on this, which is the fundamental concern with this fragrance, has I would say, on my skin, a maximum of an hour. Maybe 2 hours on your clothes. It has a very moderate scent profile, scent trail in the first hour. Then it pulls in very closely to the skin. So you're going to have to overspray and spray continually with this. If this was a very inexpensive fragrance, it wouldn't be a big deal. But it is, where I am, this is not a cheap fragrance. And I think that Acqua di Parma does have an issue, a definite issue that they have to resolve with the performance of a lot of their aquatic style fragrances, because I've tried many. And in my whole collection, I think I only have 2 Acqua di Parma fragrances. I would probably have a dozen or more if the performance was good, because I do love their scent profiles. But I can't justify paying that amount of money for the poor performance. Final notes on this. This, again, is another of many Acqua di Parma fragrances that I have tried that has a great scent profile, but awful performance. And by awful, I try to be as gentle when I say that, but the performance, a little bit there, but it's already, you could tell the pop to it, the zestiness is starting to fade already, and I've only been talking for about 5 minutes. And this is such a disappointment, and I hope they can resolve this issue in the future. Maybe they can't. Maybe it's just the ingredients that they put in that lack any depth and longevity. If there was better performance, like I said, I would have many more in my collection. I would be wearing them regularly. So with this one, I would say If you can get it at a discounter or at a very cheap price, it may be something you want. Like I said, if the price is good, but you have to always try Acqua Di Parma fragrances before you buy. And don't buy just because of one spray. Be very cognizant of the profile, not so much the profile, but the performance on your skin, because they could be gone in an hour with many of their fragrances. So be a savvy buyer. Always never buy off the initial spray or top note when you go to purchase it, because you don't know what the performance is going to be, and you do not know how the scent profile is going to change. So if you like this video, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Any comments or questions you have on this fragrance from Acqua Di Parma, or any experiences you have, leave them down below, and I'll always get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.